Welcome to this 100 Club webinar.
Good morning, 100 Clubbers. Welcome to another day of racing. We've got a bit of cricket happening as well. The cricket's just started, or they're just about to start anyway. They're on the field. We're going to have a look at some racing. And I want to take you back to Lingfield yesterday. And I want to remind you of what we do at Lingfield and how we do it. And for those of you that are new to the 100 Club and haven't seen the in-running guide that I've written and know what we do on racing at Lingfield and why we do it, then this might be a bit of an eye-opener for you. And I will also show you a video to watch after this webinar of a video from the in-running guide on Lingfield, and it will just highlight what we're doing. We might even get to watch it this morning because it's not a very long one, but it's really interesting. In fact, I think we might just go and do that, and then once you've seen that video, I'll show you what we saw yesterday and what we're looking for. So we'll just go and have a bit of a look through the in-running guide. All right, so I'm just going to go and open up a video here, all in-running videos. And I'm just looking for something here. These are all the videos that are in the in-running guide. So if you haven't got it and you think after watching this webinar, you might wish to get it, this is what you get. And I add new videos to it all the time. So I'm just looking for something on Lingfield. Won't take me long to find it. Lingfield leaders. Here we go. Let's go and have a watch of this. Just going to show you what I mean by this Lingfield bias. If you just watch the start here and you see the horse
slightly awkward upon a start, listed a fraction.
Where is he, the guy that wins it? He's in blue with the green sleeve. See, he falls back. There he is there, number 3. He goes to the back. Okay, this is like the lay the leader strategy at Lingfield. And you just watch the horse that leads into the straight. There he is in the pink and purple. And he's on the inside. Now watch the green one come to the outside of those two and just storms past and wins the race. And the one that was leading looks like it's stuck in quicksand. And that's going to be a repetitive theme through this video, because it happens all the time at Lingfield, and that's how I develop the strategy. So have a look at this race. And again, we watch the horse that wins the race is in the white hat there, in the green and gold, goes to the back and sits nicely at the back. Okay, so they're settled. So then we cut to the end of the race. You see the leader's coming around. Here it comes to the outside
screaming
of the field and comes storming down the outside to win the race. And again, look at the white one on the fence. It's like it's just stuck in quicksand and they all just come flying past it. And there he goes. Usually when you see leaders win here, they come down the middle of the track. Leaders on the inside don't. Now, number 1 there, missed the start by a long way. The favourite, Kaiser Sose, sits right at the back of the field. And again, we come to the end of the race. Now you'll see one go for a split up the inside in the white. And Kaiser Sose in the black comes through the other gap. See the one go up the inside split? Goes nowhere. Kaiser Sose comes 3 horses wide of it and just storms down the middle of the track to win. And yet the white one was right next to it at the same point. Couldn't make up any ground. We go again.
Ready. And they're off.
Now, this time you see the leader coming around the home turn will be there in the black with the red sleeves. Now, this leader, this winner in the red goes up the inside of it, but it's still 2 or 3 wide. It's not on that track where the purple one is. So it just goes past the purple one like it's given it a cold, and it wins the race. So the leader again, which was the black one this time, just couldn't make up or sustain the run. So we go again.
And they're off.
And this time, I think the lead is going to be this one in the black cap that's out wide. It's going to go to the front
Showing
come
speed on
round
the
the
inside is for
the
Vory
home
Royal
turn
the
in
claret
front. So it
colours
goes
of
from the
Vory Royal.
outside
Again for the
and
home
ends up
turn.
on the inside, coming into the
On
straight.
their left. Here's
The
Bally
fatal
Quinn.
error
Looks a big
at
danger. Bally
Lingfield,
Quinn is
and you
quick enough
see
smartly
the
here
one
for
on
John
its
Bryant
outside
to strike the front.
is
So
just going to
Bally
go
Quinn has
past
gone
it
on to Barratus
and
in
go
second.
on
Roy
and
to
win the
Drama back in
race.
third. And then comes Manuti, but Bally Quinn
So
is
that's
now
every
lifting
race so
inside the
far at
final 100
Lingfield
yards. And we'll get
on
off
this
the mark for
day
Andrew Balding and Joshua Bryant.
had been
Bally
beaten.
Quinn
You
goes
don't
into
want to be on the
Barratus.
lead,
Third always a drama.
in the
Close
lead
to
on the
fourth.
fence at
Manuti who ran
Lingfield.
on
It's just a
to
terrible
join for
place
Vory
to
Royal
be.
close home.
So we come to the last race
And they're off.
of the day.
Although one of them very slowly away. Look like
And
Miss Daisies.
we see one's totally missed it there, but
on
look at
green
this
for
one in the
Cat
black and
Matthew.
pink. It's going to
Francis
come and
Movement
lead
seconds
around the
away
home
from
turn, so
here.
that's the one you
It's
want to be on. The one in the inside on the purple is going to be stuck, and again they come from off the pace, finds that gap 2 or 3 wide, probably too wide there, but he's still going a lot faster than the grey one and wins the race. So you really want to look to lay the leaders at Lingfield. It's terrible to be in front, and it's even worse to be on the fence. So just have a think of that when you're trading the track at Lingfield. So we've had a wicket at the cricket already, have we? Someone's just said. Okay, so some might think, well, what have we just seen? Lingfield is a bit different to most all-weather tracks. The best way I can describe it to you is imagine a velodrome. Okay, you know what they use for the cycling, how you've got the banked corners. Well, that's exactly what Lingfield is. Okay, so imagine a bicycle coming around a velodrome and the guy in the front sticks to the inside of the track all the way, because that's obviously the shortest distance. But the guy behind, maybe at the back, has to come wide. So he's going to end up at the top of the velodrome, isn't he? And then when they come into the home straight, if he starts heading back towards the fence, he's very clearly going downhill. And the guy that's on the inside is still cycling on the flat. He's got no hill to benefit from. That's what Lingfield's like. It's a cambered track. So the straight cambers like a velodrome from the outside fence down to the inside. Well, that's just what I'm explaining, Nigel. The going's no different. It's an all-weather track. It's a cambered track. So on the home turn, when they fan wide, the guys get up on the outside and then they angle in. If you watch the head on, they don't go to the outside and run straight down the straight. They angle back towards the fence and it gives them a downhill run. So the guy on the fence always appears like he's in quicksand, and it looks like the going's different, but it's been proven that it isn't different. It's just that it's cambered and it's downhill. So anything that's wide has a real advantage. Now, I've been banging on about this for 10 years, and it seems that there's a few jockeys, Holly Doyle, Oisin Murphy, that have either paid attention or obviously not to me, but have listened to people that have told them this, and they ride the track differently. So you watch now, I'm going to go and show you the last race yesterday. Okay. So this is exactly what I'm going to show you, Martin. Martin's just said another good example which cost him is the 7:15 at Lingfield on Tuesday. Holly Doyle comes from 7 back, and at about, I don't know what 1:30 is, but pulls out into the middle of the track. Oh, when she's 1.3 or something. Yeah, pulls out into the middle of the track. So you just watch what we saw yesterday, but I'll show you the last race first. Okay, so let's go and watch the full race replay here. Now, I'm going to need to turn that down.
Ready to go.
And
they're off and
on.
racing.
I don't know what's
So
going
it
on
wasn't
here.
always the best of starts. So Shifting Gold usually starts.
Stop there. Turn that right down, and I'll need to do another share with you. Okay, so let's go and do another share at the races and share. Okay, so the horse that I want you to watch here is called Viola. All right. So just let me, can you see that? Okay, is that good for viewing? I know it's a bit fuzzy, but it'll clear up, but you can see that. Okay, let's go back to the start. What's your horse called Viola?
Ready to go. And they're off and racing. Float wasn't always the best of starts. Shifting Gold usually starts slowly, and indeed the same here. And My Sheila tardily into stride as well for this Reed Andrew boarding on.
So it's the white one here with the black cap and the black spots. Okay.
We're inside a filly's handicap. Andrew's filly, Stony Look, by the way, has just dropped into the middle of the field. As on the inside there, Diva Kareem is taken on early on by Vicio. Will pass the judge just in front with My Sheila flanking on the outside. Oisin Murphy has got Float sitting quite handily just behind the leading trio or so, with on that one's inside the lime green jacket of Wand in the hands now of Tom Marquand.
Now, I've made a video on this separately, which I'll also show you, but Viola now is in the worst position that you can possibly be in at Lingfield. Okay, he's boxed in. And I'll show you a video after this race.
Comes the favourite. That's Viola, white with the black spots next to the rail. September Power is next. Moving forward on the outside of that one is Sorimond. The back three at this stage are Stony Look, Shifting Gold in the pink, the back marker, and the one just in front of.
So the way I want you to start thinking about your in-running trading, particularly at Lingfield, is just put yourself in the jockey's position. So if you ask yourself right now, what does that jockey have to do to win the race? And the answer is pretty simple right now. There's nothing he can do. He can't go forward. He can't increase the tempo. He can't really slow it down because he's third on the fence. So slowing it down is not going to do anything. He can't go faster. He can't go left. He certainly can't go right because he'll smash into that yellow one. There's absolutely nothing he can do. So right now, the race is completely out of his hands. He's got no control whatsoever. So there's nothing he can do at the moment except just sit and wait. And then as a trader, if you start thinking logically, what's the only real hope he's got? Well, the only real hope he's got is to hope that a gap opens up on the inside. Maybe this one here fans a bit wide on the home turn and the one behind it, and he can maybe get a split up the inside. That's what he's now riding for. He's now riding for luck, and he's trying to get a gap up the inside. Well, as traders, we know what happens if he cuts to the inside at Lingfield. It's all over Red Rover. So that's the one you need to be looking at right now. All right. Plus, you know that you've got Oisin Murphy out here. So you certainly don't want to be betting against him, even if he doesn't win the race. And I honestly don't remember who wins the race. But I can tell you right now who can't win the race. And that's the way you got to start thinking. So let's see what happens.
Her is Feeder Fleur in the hands of Hector Crouch on a debut for Gary Moore's team as they pass the 7 marker. So Vicio and Rob Hornby taken on by My Sheila and Charlie Bishop, just racing a bit lazily there for a stride or two. Tracking them going well is Float on the outside. Then on the inner comes Diva Kareem's dark blue jacket. The one in between them is Wand. Just behind the leading 5 then on the inside there is Viola next to the rail, with wider up then to Sorimond. And just behind Sorimond then is September Power and former champion Sylvester de Souza.
You can see it there from side on. That Viola, where can it go? Can't go anywhere. It's got absolutely nowhere to go. This 7's blocking it in. This 8's about to block it in. It can't go forward. It can't go to the inside because this blue one's on the fence. It just can't go anywhere. And so when he starts to push forward, this guy, and I think he's the favourite, it's going to, yeah, I'm in. As soon as I see it's in that position, I'm in already, Mike. So I know it can't go anywhere. There's a Sydney goal. So we'll come and do our lay the draw again in a minute, just before half time, just as expected. So if you'd laid Adelaide, happy days. And if you've laid the draw, we'll now go and get our second position in, and it'll be lower, and we'll have a nice lay the draw for the second half. I'll come back to that in a sec.
Cortiva on the rail is next, and then Feeder Fleur. Last but one then, the pink jacket of Shifting Gold. And looking on from the rear now is Stony Look, who appears to...
Now, as a trader, if you've laid this thing, you're hoping, you're just praying, please go inside, please go inside. And you just hope that you're pretty sure he will, because there's nowhere else he can go. But as soon as you see him cut inside, you've pretty well got your money.
Be struggling as they race on now inside the final.
That red and black one in front's gone. Look at it.
Much has happened yet, to be honest, but there's a good 8 lengths.
And this yellow one's going all right. The blue one's going all right.
Down the hill.
So you see the white one, he's still only got one place to go.
But here comes Diva
He can't go anywhere else. Look.
Float with a dangerous looking run there for Oisin. Viola needs racing room next to the rail there. Danny Muscat in a good position to strike if she gets it.
Go up the inside.
On the turn, then September Power. They're coming up the home straight. No room up the inner.
Oh, so he's got nowhere to go.
As Vichot pours it on the outside. Here comes Feeder Fleur, the stormy run. September Power, and Viola finds a gap at last on the inside. It's a three-way go as they race up towards the line. It's really tight. September Power and Viola.
Cost it the race. Only just, clearly the best horse in the race, but having to go up the inside and just getting held up cost it the race. Yeah, you could have done the yellow one on the inside as well. Let's go and see what happened to him.
September Power.
Yeah, look.
Viola, September Power and Viola.
So you see, as soon as Viola got around that leader, it's left at this one here like it's in quicksand. So you could have also definitely laid that one. Obviously, if it's 50 to 1, you can't. You'd have to know the price. But you see, that purely cost it the race.
Gap at last on the inside. It's a three-way go as they race up towards the line. It's really tight.
You see the one that was on the inside. So let's go back and have a look at. Let's go back and have a look at the rest of the races from that day. So if we go and choose the first one, let's go and see what happened.
That's it. They're ready to go. Set. And they're off. So they go over 6 furlongs. The Betway Nursery Handicap. Highland Dandy restrained as he left the stalls. Likewise, just tucking behind him, Bomb Squad. Out pretty sharply, though, was Plum Run, who leads Shine That Light, who's got the rail position.
So we can come up to the end.
They're up now inside the
no, we don't. We'll go up. I went too far.
Down the hill now.
So the pink one is in the lead. Let's see what happens to him.
Here this evening at Lingfield. On the inside is Plum Run. Better by far on the outside there for Will Buick. Now just starts to try and pick him up. On the inside, travelling strongly. Shine That Light next to the rail. Not much room then for him at the moment, though, as they're about to turn. Wider out then to the Good Ting, who took it in 4th place, followed by the Chain. Then on the inside, Bomb Squad. Highland Dandy's got it to do. Publicist trying to run on. They're up now inside the final furlong. Shine That Light is just about the leader. A strong challenge from Better by Far. And on the near side, the Good Ting is coming over the top of them and is going to get up next to the rail.
So let's go and watch that again. So this white one, commentator calls it travelling really strongly. Only place it can go from behind that leader with this one on the outside of it. The only place it can go is up the inside. And then it blows this pink one away. But then you see the two on the outside coming down the hill.
Though, as they're about to turn.
So as soon as he goes up that inside, I think, well, he's in real trouble. But see how he's one off the fence at the moment. He does try to get out to the middle a bit, but it's too late. Look.
Wider up then to the Good Ting, who took it in 4th place, followed by the Chain. Then on the inside, Bomb Squad. Highland Dandy's got.
So see him move to the middle of the track. He's coming across the pink one, trying to get out there, but he's actually going uphill to get to the middle of the track. It's too late. You've got to be on it on the turn.
To do. Publicist trying to run on.
These two down the outside here are coming downhill.
Is just about the leader. A strong challenge.
But look at the red and white one on the fence. It's like it's in quicksand.
Coming over the top of them and is going to get up. The Good Ting goes on to win. From Better by Far in second. Publicist run on quite well behind, and then Shine That Light.
Right, so let's go and have a quick look at the next one.
And they're off. 6 furlongs ahead of them once again here. This Betway Handicap is a Class 5 event. A little bit slow to stride. Garth Rocket on his hat-trick bid here. Very quickly into stride. They're requited, and he'll take them past the far turn then, leading from London Calling with Lethal Angel close up and a horse called Wanda next to the rail. Just tracking them, Swiss Pride and Bayard. Then on the inside is La Quinto in the maroon jacket. Garth Rocket is held up behind them. Outpaced and ridden along is You Don't Owe Me. And at the very back of the field is From Now On, held up by Sean Levy. Down they come. They go on past the halfway stage here. Out in front, still requited for Oisin Murphy as they begin to turn towards the 2 furlong marker. Just trying to get a bit of momentum going on that bend as they.
Now watch where he goes now.
Requited, still out in front. Just poached a little bit of ground off his rivals there as well. He leads by 2.5 lengths.
Look where he is now. He's out in the middle of the track.
Cheek pieces followed by Swiss Pride back in third. Garth Rocket is staying on, moves into 4th place.
See where he is now? Oisin Murphy has slingshotted off that home turn. And look at these ones back here stuck on the inside fence. And Oisin Murphy is about 4 or 5 horses wide. This is where most of the winners come from, down the outside. So just go back to the turn and watch what he does again. And that's the difference with him and Holly Doyle to just normal numpties that don't know what they're doing. So look, here he comes. He's right on the rail there, and then he's straight off it. So if you see there from the shadow, I mean, look at this one here, this one's still on the fence, and you can see the massive gap that he's come right down the middle.
2.5 lengths. Chasing hard is a horse called Wonder in the cheek pieces, followed by Swiss Pride back in third. Garth Rocket is staying on, moves into 4th place. Requited, though, a positive ride from Oisin, and it's going to pay off. Requited makes just about.
So he finishes like probably just on this side of halfway of the track. He might be right in the middle, but he's definitely nowhere near the fence. And so if you see Oisin Murphy leading, you just think, well, no, I'm not taking the risk here. I'm not laying this one, because you know now that he knows it. So you want to be very cautious laying Oisin Murphy on a leader at any time. But that's that one. Let's go and have a look at the next one. Was that what race was that? 4:35. Right, so let's watch the 5:05.
Now, and they're off. So they break away then with a mile ahead of them. The Betway EBF British Stallion Studs Fillies Novice Stakes and À l'Étoile and Nash.
It can be, as soon as it becomes obvious, Darren. Darren's just asked, when do I get the lay-in? So I'll just tell you when I'd lay it on this, in this race. When it becomes obvious that they have to stay on the inside. Now, you notice that just before the turn there in that last race, Oisin Murphy kicked so that he could get off that turn. If this white guy stays on the inside and lets that blue one sit on his outside, then he's got no option than to stay on the inside, and he's gone. So what Oisin did is just before they got to the turn, he kicked a length or two clear so that he could swing out and slingshot to the out middle of the track, and there was nothing left to do. It's just a great ride. But if this guy gets stuck, I'd also be looking in my head, Darren, at this yellow one and thinking, well, if he gets trapped on the inside, even in a small field, then that's an option to lay. The ones you don't want to be looking at the moment is the blue one, definitely the white one behind it. That's the most dangerous, and possibly you don't even want the pink one behind that. So the two I'm thinking of at this stage are white and yellow. And I honestly have no clue what happens. I don't remember. As soon as the race finishes, it's gone out of my head.
Inside of the yellow colours, I'm looking on the back. Daisy Duke.
I just remembered Viola because I made a note of it here to show you.
As they race away.
So you can see the yellow one's gone already. So you can lay that now. It's 1,000,000 to 1. Now the green one, you think, oh, he could still get off the inside. I want this blue one to kick up if I'm going to lay it. and now he's up on the outside. So the green one can't come wide on the turn.
Already Devil Gilo is being ridden along in the yellow colours.
As long as the blue one stays outside him,
Back still, Daisy June.
now I'd lay the white one, Darren. Bang, bang, bang. I'm in. Because look at him. He's gone, and the blue one's cruising, and the white one's stuck on the inside. It's all over. If this white thing wins, it'll be a miracle.
She's cruising at the moment.
No, it's gone. Now you're out. It's now 50-1, and you just trade out. Look at him. It's like he's in quicksand.
Lunar Shadow, though, chasing hard.
Wonder if this white thing comes down the outside or if the blue one hangs on.
As well at Nasher at the
Here it comes. Look at this green thing coming.
furlong being held together.
He's not going to catch it. See, the blues come out to the middle of the track again. Look at the white one on the fence that we identified, Darren. Quicksand.
To win. Beautifully bred. Nasher lands the odds.
See, he again came off that turn, one wide, slingshot out to the middle of the track. Away you go. The one on the fence, not even in the picture. Let's go and have a look at the 605.
In last. Ready and off. Just slightly slow to stride. Cherish for this Betway Maiden Stakes over 5 furlongs. Passional broke pretty well. Summit Fever. The
I didn't notice if it missed the start, Nigel.
turn.
I just sort of focus on the leader. So I'm thinking at the moment, the white one on the fence and the yellow one behind it, and even the blue one behind that is at the end. He's got nowhere to go. He's already gone. So now I'd be thinking of the purple one as well. See, the purple can't go anywhere. So the yellow one looks all right at the moment, but if he has to go up the inside, he can't win. So see, he has to go up the inside, the yellow. He had no other choice.
As they race up inside the final furlong, and Summit Fever.
And look, he just can't make up ground because the pink one's going downhill.
And Summit Fever is going to come home.
And look, the number 3 comes and swamps the 7 as well.
Well, maybe for second, Sea Trout in a photo there with Brenner Pass.
So there's another one. So let's go and have a look at the 635.
A few minutes late here. Giving trouble at the start. Ready to go, and thereof. Dover Light, a little bit slow to stride. Confise wasn't the quickest.
So your eyes instantly turn to this black one,
a mile and a quarter the trip. This bet
and you think,
handicap.
right, you might even put a lay in now, because if these quicker ones cross him, he's going to be in a real nasty position. They haven't crossed him yet, but if they get across, he'll be shuffled back. So now he's going to be behind that green and orange one.
Rainbow Jazz on that one's outside, moving forward a couple of placings. Behind them,
and so now you think, well, where can that black one with the spotty cap go? He's stuck. His only option is to go up the inside. And if he goes up the inside, he's on the flat part of the track and he can't win. Now, this one out here in the blue and yellow checks, he's using up too much fuel, I think, to get to the lead. But if he does get to the lead, it puts that black one in an even worse position. See, that orange and green one's going to fall back into the lap of the black one now. Where can the black guy go? Because the other one's fallen back into him. Look, he's stuck. He's going all right, the black one, but there's nowhere he can go. He's just stuck behind that leader. His only option is going to be go up the inside fence. So you just think, well, what's this black thing got to do to win? The only way he can win is go up the inside. He's just a lay. So go on, mate. Go up the inside and see how far you get. Well, it's all over. You're out. He's 1,000-1 now. And look at the one that used all the pace to get up to the lead. Now it's on the inside. And he's going to just give him a cold. Look, he's in quicksand. I've been doing this for 10 years and nobody picks it up. But look at him out in the middle of the track, downhill. Look at this thing coming. Oh, whooshka. Don't tell anyone about this strategy, all right? Just keep it between the 100 of us. So let's go and have a look at the 705 race.
Ready to go. And they're off and racing. What a great start from King Athelstan on the inside there, but he's reined back And William Buick sends Sea of Marmoon to the front in the second division.
Look at this thing pulling at the back in the red. Look at it.
Good Time Charlie in the dark blue.
The 7 horse at the rear.
Seen in second place.
Fighting the jockey.
Is in third. Then Azora High in the red and black colours, followed by King Athelstan.
He's off the fence already. This leader, he doesn't want to get on the fence.
Then the 5-time course winner Chiron, last but one, locked away at the back by Tom Marcon. Together there, the red and white hooped jacket of Corofin. The filly is also held up to get the trip here.
So they're trying not to stick on the fence now.
And Sea of Marmoon trying to relax out in front here for William Buick, still a little bit keen.
See, he's right off the fence, this guy. He doesn't want to get stuck in. He's happy to let something slide up the inside.
Followed by Azora High, and then comes King Athelstan.
Now he's moved across.
The yellow cap track there by Chiron on the outside. Then still is Pax Britannica, still Corofin at the back. Maybe 7 lengths between first and last then as they race past the 5 furlong start. Over
So 5 furlongs to go.
Having gone past halfway here, Sea of Marmoon, still the leader as they turn down the side of
So I'd be looking at laying this leader or possibly the red cap behind it or even the yellow cap behind that.
Behind them, getting a lovely toe into the race then as they freewheel down the hill. Azora High on the outside, still with the...
Look at this thing pulling wide in the green.
Britannica wider for Dylan Hogan.
Right up on top of the velodrome.
Corofin trying hard. Chiron's got it all to do. At the head of affairs, though, Adam Kirby trying to serve it up here to Sea of Marmoon.
See, the red cap's gone up the inside.
Picks up again here. Up the home straight, they come up the inside. Quamonda, it's opening up beautifully for her now. She draws alongside and goes up now with half a furlong left to go. David Probert and Quamonda.
And look where it is now.
Here in the closing stages to win again at Lingfield. Quamonda, Sea of Marmoon.
Let's go back and watch that. Oh, it just showed on... Oh, bugger. I'll just go to the end again. Sorry. I just want to show you that head on again. So if I just go back here, just after they go past the post, and I'll pause it. Right. See here how they're all now on the outside. There's nothing on this race that's come up here. And see how this horse here is angled down. This is where the slope comes. So it comes down from the outside here down to the winning post. So this guy had nowhere to go, but he's got up the inside and then come down the middle. So let's just watch that finish again.
Side though is Good Time Charlie, Quamonda and David Probert right behind them, getting a lovely...
So this grey one's the leader that I'd like to be normally laying.
On the outside, still with a chance.
So there he's shaking up the one behind in the red.
Hard at work, King Athelstan behind them.
He's right on the fence at the moment.
He's got it all to do at the head of affairs, though. Adam Kirby trying to...
Now look, he sees off the fence by 1 or 2, takes that run up the inside.
Sea of Marmoon picks up again here.
And then gets past and comes out to the middle. See the one in the yellow cap back on the inside? Nothing.
Left to go, David Probert and Quamonda, and she's readily
down the middle. Anything that stays on the inside doesn't really have a hope.
Back in third was Good
7:05. We've got one more to watch. Let's watch this one.
They're ready to race, set, and they're off. And Stay in the Light dwelt as the stalls opened. Another one slowly away was Exclaim here. Indeed, Hasty Sailor wasn't the fastest away.
Mike lays another winner.
Casino Maiden, it's over 1.5 miles. Neverton broke well on the inside. Also,
you could see in that previous race, though, Mike, they weren't racing on the fence.
As they settled down.
So it was always going to be a bit of a danger. You can see the blue one, 3 back on the fence, is in trouble early here. So's the green and white one next to it.
Wide outside is Arabic Welcome racing there with Hasty Sailor.
But if you just sort of, when you're watching Lingfield, if you start looking at the race at this point, you think, who's in a bit of trouble? Green, he's going to have an option to go up the inside or the outside, depending on which way the yellow one goes. The one that might be in trouble is this blue one here, 3 back on the fence at Lingfield, because you've got all these horses outside of you and nowhere to go. But this guy may have an option at the end of the race. But at the moment, the two I'd be thinking of looking at laying now, the two that would attract my eyes is the yellow leader, if he's stuck on the inside, and this blue one. Anything else I'm not really interested in at this point. And I'll do some of these live with you. We'll do the live Lingfield, next meeting live at Lingfield. So you also want to pay attention to who's on the horse. So can you see here what I'm saying about this blue one? He's totally at the mercy of the other players, the other jockeys.
As they race away from us,
he's got nowhere to go.
Jacket, 2 lengths then back to the maroon and white of Tin Drum, and then the last two at this stage, just moving past. In fact, there, staying the light on the outside.
So you start looking now who's travelling well and who's pushing early. They're all still going okay. Now the blue one's starting to push. He's probably my lay now. The blue one, 3 back on the fence. That's, look at it, so obvious, yeah? He can't go anywhere. Where can he go? He can't get up the inside of the green one. He can't go outside. He can't do anything. He's gone already. So if you got on him at, 15 or 20, he's now 100 and you're out. He's going to finish distressed. The green and white one we saw pushing early, 3 behind the leader now. He's struggling. Now your yellow leader's gone as well. So there was 3 opportunities in that race.
Coming down the hill. Mersin, Will Buick poised to challenge. Right behind them there, ridden along is Red Missile. A little about pace.
So I'd be already done now. I don't even care what happens in the straight. But let's see if this blue and red one stays on the fence. What happens to him?
With 2 furlongs to go,
Bye-bye.
is the leader. Leads by about a length from Tao Te Ching. Red Missile coming wide together with Hasty Sailor.
Look at the one on the fence and the green and red one on the fence as well.
Don't rule him out.
Both of them finding nothing.
It's Red Missile who strikes the front in the first time cheek pieces, and he's bounding clear here.
Again, middle of the track, yeah?
At the 6th attempt, an easy win for Tom Marcon and William Haggis. Mersin.
Okay, we've got another wicket in the cricket. Stuart Broad, 150 for 4, Pakistan. So that's a little lesson on Lingfield. And it's just something I've noticed over the years that it just seems to happen more often than not. Now, the one race yesterday that you saw, when you get a smart jockey like a Sheen Murphy on front, Holly Doyle also knows that she'll try and get to the middle of the track. There's a couple of them. And if you lay a leader and you see him pull to the middle of the track, just exit. Even if you take a couple of quid loss, doesn't matter. But Sheen was just really smart. He's a really clever jockey. He just kicked off just before the turn. He said, I don't want to be tracked on the inside here. So he went a little bit early, got to the middle of the track, and then made it up with the slingshot. Okay, where were we? No, Darren, there's no other courses like that. It's only Lingfield. And there's other courses that, if you look at, say, Kempton, right? Kempton is totally different because being 1 or 2 back behind the leader at Kempton is actually a decent position, because as they come round the straight, there's what's called a cutaway rail. The rail just opens up like 10 horses wide on the inside. So we'll go and see if I can find, let's go and have a look at one race from Kempton. We'll just see what we've got. Excellent. Kempton Park. So let's just go and watch one race here and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Head up to the commentary box for the first of 9 races and join Tony.
Thank you, Nick. Just about ready.
Right.
And they're off. A little bit slowly away was the grey silver screen star as they jump over 6 for the Unibet British Stallion Stud European Breeders' Fund Fillies Novice Stakes. One of the first to show up, Immaculate in the centre towards the outside. Thank you. Next is also showing Bright Speed, the light blue colours.
So you see here, they're running the other way, but see this yellow one and blue here and this green one behind. At Lingfield, you'd instantly be thinking, or they're in a terrible position. But watch at Kempton what happens.
In the Godolphin blue. On the inside is Centre Romance in the dark blue jacket. Wider out Itakabo.
The one in the best spot at the moment is probably the one in the blue with the spots behind the leader. So these two here are probably in the best position right now.
White of Belandi, the orange of Silver Screen Star, and the dark blue and green of perhaps tonight is just a back marker around the home turn on the outer track.
So around the home turn on the outer track, here they come.
Immaculate leading by a neck to Thank You Next, who's racing in second place. Centre Romance, William Buick.
So see the fence there on the inside. Watch the one, keep your eye on this one here. You think at the moment he's got nowhere to go, but watch what happens.
Close up in fourth in the all blue. They're in line for home. Behind those we have Chakoya as they head down inside the two. Immaculate now tackled by...
Right, now there goes the rail. See it curling off to the left? Now look.
Thank You Next in the centre.
There's no fence. There's that massive gap up the inside. There's no fence there at all, so you can go right up the inside there.
Chance, far side Centre Romance is also boxing on a Chakoya.
And look.
He's also picking up quite stylishly too in the centre. Quite a few chances here. Thank You Next.
Is he going to hang on? No.
And it's Chakoya, Jason Watson, who's now got to the front inside the final furlong. Thank You Next trying to fight back on the outside. Chakoya in front. Thank You Next is coming again. Inflow zone. Chakoya and Thank You Next.
Wins by a bee's dick. Right, so you see there how that opens right up on the inside, and this guy here that's finished third, even though he was stuck behind the leader on the fence, he's now 3 or 4 wide of the fence because of that cutaway. And you can see the guy that was leading is going to finish last or second last here. So it's a totally different track, whereas on Lingfield you can get stuck, and also you can see it's nice and flat. The whole track is flat, whereas at Lingfield it's cambered. All right, and it's the same at Windsor. Windsor's a strange track. Windsor Racecourse. It's like a horseshoe. Let's go and see some photos of it. So yeah, here's one. So you can see here that where's a better picture of showing you the, there it is. That's the one I want. So you can see here where they start, and they can like start here and they come up and around and back. And there's also the longer, the real longer races is they can sort of go around. I'm not sure how it all works, but I know that they come around. So from here, the 1 mile, they'd start coming this way, and then they come through here, and then they come around, and then straight back down this way. So you might think you've got an advantage being on the inside here, but then by the time you get to here, you're now on the outside. So you've got to sort of come across the track to this fence and then back around and come down. We've got another wicket in the cricket, have we? There's been a review. That's out. That is out. Unless you got an edge on that, my friend, you are gone. Oh, and he did too. He got an edge. He's hit it, not out. Let's have a listen. Bat involved. Overturned. Yeah, he knew when he hit. Stuart Broad didn't hear anything. But he knew straight away that he'd hit it. A batsman can feel it. You can feel the vibration. Right. Let's go and have a look at this football. All right. So before I just go back to the football, are you guys clear on what I'm trying to show you here with Lingfield and how it applies to leaders? I think what we need to do as a 100 Club group is trade a Lingfield meeting live, and I'll just sort of, talk you through it. It's all well and good watching the replays, but you can go back and watch the replays yourself. Just go and find the meetings and watch how often it happens. Now, obviously, some leaders will win. Okay, it does happen. Some of them are just good enough, despite being on the inside, to win the race. It doesn't happen very often, but all it means is they win by half a length. They would have won by 10 if they're on the outside. So despite the handicap, they still win. So it will happen. Then you think, well, Holly Doyle and Oisin Murphy, you don't want to be laying them if they're leading anyway. And it's clear that they know, and a few of them, that Tom Marquand, he also came down the middle. So try and work out, if you can, what you think the jockey's going to do. And sometimes it's really simple, because you will just see, clear as the nose on your face, he has no choice. The only place this horse can go is up the inside. And when there's no doubt about his choices, then you can make a more confident lay. When there are choices, you're looking at the leader and you think, oh, this leader's a length in front of the second horse. He could stay to the inside. He could pull to the middle and then run downhill and use the slingshot. I'm not sure, so I won't do it. Maybe just try and stick to something you're sure about and think, well, that horse that's 3 back on the fence, he's got no choice. He simply can't go anywhere else except up the inside. If he beats me, fair play to him, but I've got a really good chance of winning this trade if he's forced to go up the inside. That's the way you should be thinking. Take the guesswork out of it. So, I guess the logic is with any of the trades that we do, if in doubt, stay out. That's the motto of 100 Club. When in doubt, stay out. Or you can even tweak it and say, when in doubt, get out. I only want you staying in trades that you're confident of. Of course, you're going to get beat in some. We're never going to win 100%, or else we'd all be multimillionaires. We are going to get beat. But as a general rule, if you've got a little bit of doubt, that's okay. I mean, I've got a little bit of doubt that this might end 1-1, but it's only 20%. 80% of me is confident that there'll be another goal. So we'll go and have a look at it. It's normal to have some doubt. But at the leader thing, if you've got quite a bit of doubt, you think, oh, this leader here, we're in a bit of trouble. So you can see that this draw price hasn't moved a whole lot. And it's 4.3 we got in at, and we're only down at 13 quid at the moment. But let's go back to where we were and have a look at Adelaide this season. 12 games at home, no draws. Okay? Now, how many of them were draws at half-time? 4. So there were 4 draws at half-time. So this is the 5th one. No draws. And that's a great save by the Adelaide keeper there. Sydney's just smashed one on target and got a corner. And for Sydney, 11 away, 2 draws. How many were draws at half-time? 3. So this is 4. So I'm fairly confident that, out of those 23 games, only 2 of them were draws. And then if we go back and look at the head-to-head, how many were draws? 5 of 17. But Sydney's won the last 4 straight, 2-1, 3-2, 2-0, 2-1. So I think we're looking, 2 of them have been 2-1. There's another possibly 2-1 coming here, either way. The last draw was in 2019, it was 1-1, and before that was 0-0. It's been a long time since Adelaide won. So if you haven't done a bet yet, you could also look at possibly laying Adelaide. Don't know what price they are, but history says they're not going to win. So we could also look at doing that one. So let's go and look at some stats before we make a decision and see what has been happening in our absence. All right, Adelaide United. Okay, so we've got a pretty good game. We've got 3 shots on target from Adelaide, 4 from Sydney, and 6 shots off target from either side. So that's always good. It's not being dominated by one side. Sydney is the away team, are having a good crack, and Adelaide at home, obviously, they're having a go as well. So looking at the season stats again, away, Sydney's won 7 of 11. So that's a 64% chance, making them 157 in price. I don't know what they were at the start. Let's go and see what they were at kickoff. They were about 260, which is strange considering they're leading the competition and their price of winning represented the 157. So I think I'm just going to let this get down to about 220, and I'll go and see what I can put in. See if I get 220. Yeah, that gets me under 100. So I'm going to try and get in a lay the draw at around 220 if it's going to let me, if we can survive that long. Of course, if there's a goal before I get to 220, I'm not that bothered because it will put me in a nice winning position. I just won't win as much as if I get the 220. So just keep going for a minute. Let's go and have a look at the cricket as well, see what the price is in the cricketing. It'll probably be pretty short now. No, they're still back at 176. So anybody that laid them and is still in their opening position, then you're still in profit. What price was in the email? What price did you guys get? Looks like my first lay was 148. So you must have been around 150. So 154 for Mighty Mike. Okay. Yeah. So Darren says, we all need to get a box at Lingfield when the course opens up again. You don't really need the expense of a box, Darren. We already know. We can make our decision halfway through the race. It just happens a lot. And I don't want you to take my word for it. As your homework, go back and, let's say, look at the last 4 previous Lingfield meetings. Just go and find out when they were on. Go and look up the replays if you're a Racing UK subscriber, and have a look at them. There should be a free site somewhere, I think, that you can see the races. I'm not sure how it all works anymore, but you can go and have a look at the races and just see for yourself. But that video we watched at the beginning from the in-running guide, and then the races we showed from yesterday, we've seen 16 races there. And it was, it's all pretty much the same. So what you can do is, you're not going to remember the races. Just go back and say, watch 3 or 4 meetings of Lingfield and pretend they're live. And just see if you can get used to picking the losers in running and think, well, right, he's trapped. He can't go anywhere. So I could lay that one and then see how the race pans out. Then the next race, right, this guy is definitely going to be forced to go up the inside. There's nowhere else he can go. And then see how that pans out. And I reckon that easily you're going to get 9 out of 10 right. And as a trader, that's phenomenal. Just think, oh, geez, that'll do. I'll just trade Lingfield. Obviously, some of them do get away, but like I say, you've got to be smart. You can't just go and lay every leader and think, well, I've made money. Because if you think, oh, Sheen Murphy's on this, we know he's smart. He could try and kick clear here on the turn. He knows about the slingshot, because nearly every Sheen Murphy ride at Lingfield, you'll see him come down the middle of the track, because he's not going to get stuck on the fence, because he's bought my in-running guide and he knows. I just threw that in for comedy reasons, by the way. I'm sure there's absolutely nothing I can tell Sheen Murphy about horse racing. I wish I could get him on. We could have him on every morning and say, right, Sheen, what's the story today? What's going to happen? How are you going to ride this? I don't think that's allowed. Right, I'm getting in. I'm going double or nothing here on my lay the draw. I'm not quite up there on my stats. I've got 7 shots, so that's 49 minutes, but I know how the A-League works. There's going to be a lot more in the second half. So for those of you that can't see it, I'll go and fire up the old webcam. You can watch the game. We'll see what comes of what. So if I stop sharing and hit the camera and then hit gallery view, you should be able to see it. I'll go and shut that blind so that you can see it a bit clearer. Hang on. Okay, let's just sit and wait for this goal to come. Hopefully. Here's an opportunity for Sydney, but just went a little bit wide for him, didn't it? I thought that was in. Hit the back part of the goal, the post behind, and came back. So I'm not sure what happened there, but that's okay. So we've had a few people leaving the webinar club, and I don't mind anymore because now the bot kicks them out automatically. I don't have to keep saying, if you've cancelled your subscription, please leave. But as one leaves, there's another guy's joined. Come on, let's get this goal, lads. Of course, I don't mind at the moment that it's not there. The later it comes, the more we'll make. Oh, it just took that off his head, didn't he? Took that off the top of his head. Starting to get a bit more open now. Okay. Let's go and have a bit of a look at the stats. So at the moment, we've got 3 on target for Adelaide, 5 on target for Sydney, and we've got 6 off target for Adelaide and 7 off target for Sydney. So at the moment, it looks like Sydney's slightly the dominant side. And the cricket's 159 for 4, and England are out to 1.87. So they're on their way up again. Just thinking how dark it looks in this room, and I forgot, I was looking at the cricket, it's looking a bit gnarly. They've got the lights on and it's very overcast. There's no shadows whatsoever on the ground. There's perfect bowling conditions for England. So if they're not taking wickets, this price will rise pretty quickly. Shan's on 55, Rizwan's on 4. So now we start getting into the good timing for 70 minutes. If we get a goal now, we're probably going to get, particularly if it's a Sydney goal. If we get a Sydney goal next, we'll be in a good enough position to exit the trade without needing to, get too much more. if Adelaide score, you'll be in a position we can exit, but we probably won't get as much out of it as we'd hoped. But it's all a bit strange at the moment. Sydney just had a breakaway and there was one Sydney guy and there were 5 Adelaide players at the back. Oh, what a great save from the Sydney keeper. Whoa. Redmayne. I can't tell you how much money he's cost me over the last 5 years. He's a great keeper. Look at this. Great save. Oh, just get in the top corner. This will show it. Oh, no, it won't. I thought it was from the back. That's okay. I'll be happy for the goal to come around 75, 80 minutes. Oh, total miss kick. And now here's the breakaway from Sydney and they've blown it. Oh, dear. Go wide. That's the ball. Bit of a drinks break there in the cricket at the moment. Look at the clouds. Another breakaway from Sydney. Oh, that's a foul. No, it didn't give it. Okay. So now we wait. But at least it's end to end. You can clearly see Adelaide are trying to score. No way are they sitting on the draw here. And Sydney are looking for that breakaway nearly every time. So that's great when you've done a lay the draw or you're waiting for a goal in a match that you've got both teams trying to score. Massively helpful. You've obviously got twice as much chance as getting it. Plenty of time left in this game. I forgot to have a look at the NRL this morning. Is that even on? I thought the NRL was supposed to be on, but it's not on anywhere. Why is it not? Or does anyone know where it is, if it is? Because I'm pretty certain when I went and had a look here, I share Bet365 and I go here, forgot all about it. It says Rugby League, St George, Sky Sports. Can someone tell me what channel it's on? Is it on? It's not on Sky anywhere. I'm sure it will be on one of the channels, but I just don't know. In live stream, is it on the live stream? No. So Sydney are leading 16-10. And it's another game I forgot to get my bet on. If we done what have I said in this? Let me go and have a look at my email. Yeah, I have the Roosters to win by 8-10. So I'll check the handicap. We might go with that. And then I've completely forgotten about it. So is it just half time, Scott? What channel? Sky Sports Arena? I don't know what arena is. Okay. I'll find it. Well, I don't need to change that channel for you anyway. I'll go and change the other one. It'll just go and have a look over here. Sky Sports Arena. What channel? .408 it says. But on 408, I'm seeing Western Force versus the Rebels. So it's not on Sky Sports Arena. Whoever told me that gave me bad information. And if it is on Sky Sports Arena, then they've advertised it wrong. Because look, I'll show you on here. 408. See? Western Force versus Rebels. Anyway, we'll just focus on the football for now. I'll go and stop that sharing, get the video back for you. There you go. 76 minutes. So I'd be happy with a goal now. Thanks, lads. We'll get a goal and we'll see how we go. But I've picked Sydney to win by 8-10. So they're 6 in front at the moment. And I'll just see. Looks like they're obviously playing, so it's not on Sky Arena. Disappointing. I thought they'd be showing it. It's a great game. St George and Sydney. Yeah, Betfair says that. So let's go and have a look. NRL.com. Yeah, it says 47-20, so they are playing. They're back for the second half. So that's all right. Yeah, the Force and the Rebels is on Sky Arena because it's just come back from the ads break. It's 10-all in that game. So if anyone can find it, let me know where it is. But for now, we'll get back to the football. We'll go and have a look at some stats here. Still 3 shots on target for Sydney. Adelaide, 8 for Sydney. I mean, that's the quality that you're looking at. It's just, you'd see that in a schoolboy game. Guy goes down the right here, puts a crossover, and it ends up over the back here. How does that happen? Anyhow. Adelaide have a free kick. So yeah, any goal now for, 78, 79 minutes, anywhere into the 80s, you're going to be now in a position that if a goal comes, you can exit the trade. No problem at all. You'll be in a nice win position. Should that happen. So England's up to 191. May as well go and put the cricket back on. I don't want to see any rugby union. And we'll see how we get. All we need now is for Norbert to pop up and say, lay the draw. I don't know if Norbert's even out of bed yet. Right. Goal time, lads. Goal time. There's a corner for Sydney. Jofra Archer into the attack for England. Not looking too menacing at the moment. Looking forward to seeing him play on the bouncy tracks of Australia. I think he'll give Australians a right hard time. Another corner for Sydney. Pressure's building. Of course, you love it when the goal goes in at 89 or 90 minutes, but it's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it, to wait for then? I'd be happy with a goal now, any time between now and 85. Trade out, take the cash, move on. No need to worry. The Sydney's putting all the pressure on, but all 10 of Adelaide's defence is back. And another poor cross just gives Adelaide the ball back. So now the substitutes come. And we can, if you lay the draw, we finally get to play this one.
So you gotta let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
Do we exit or do we hold in? What do you do? Sydney's got a breakaway here, and that's going to be a free kick and a yellow card. I learnt quite a long time ago, and this is just purely from a mindset perspective and how it made me feel. All right. So when you're in trading positions, you get to this point and you think, right, what do I do here? Do I just exit now and take the loss and move on? Or do I stay in? Both are reasonable. You know, you can make a case for so many games having late goals, so many, and others you don't get the goal. So I could exit now for half the loss of what I'm looking at if there's no goal. But this is just personal to me, okay? So this is not what you should do, or, you know, this is just how I react and how I think. And after many times of it happening and many years of experience, I know that I am going to feel 10 times worse if I exit now and then there's a goal than if I just stay in and there's no goal, because that's happened to me so many times. I'd think, all right, I'll do the right thing. I'll exit this and I'll get out now. So you do that, you take the loss, 50 quid loss, there you go, exit. Minute later, goal. That makes me feel 10 times as bad as losing 100 but staying in till the end. So how do you manage that? Well, the way I manage it is I don't get in a position of losing more than I'm prepared to lose. So my maximum that I'm prepared to lose on this game is 100 quid. I've done two trades of 50. They just both happen to be on the same thing, which is fine. It's no different to doing two different £50 trades if they both lose. It can be on the same thing if you want it to be. But I'm more comfortable losing 100 quid if there's no goal than I am taking 50 now and then the goal coming. I'll just kick myself for the rest of the day. Whereas if this is no goal, I will just move on and go, oh, well, I thought there'd be a goal and it wasn't, no problem. And just move on to my racing, and that'll be me. But yeah, I just feel so sick when I trade out of something and then it happens. So yeah, the way I've decided to counter that is I'm now prepared to give myself every opportunity to get the goal, which means I've got about 8.5 minutes to go to get the goal. And I stick to a liability that I'm comfortable losing. Because otherwise, if you're going to play stop losses, yeah, you can bet a bit more. You can take bigger risk and get a bigger reward if you're right. But then when it gets to that point where you've got to exit, you think, I'm going to get out now. I've lost my maximum. For me personally, I just find I'd rather just have every opportunity. So all my football bets now are stay until the death and just manage that maximum risk. But that's just me personally. So James laid Adelaide at 1-0 and he's used his green to lay the draw. So if it ends in a draw, James will be even. He'll come out with 0. And if there is a goal, then happy days. He'll get double bubble. So my position right now is I can click out of it and take 67 as a loss, which, is manageable. It'd be 3 or 4 horse races this afternoon out of the 30 that's on. Not a big deal. Not going to worry me. But trading out now and seeing a goal, I'd be cross for the rest of the day and probably most of tomorrow. So I'm staying in. But you guys do what you want. That's just how I manage my mindset, because I know a loss here at 1-1, it won't affect me mentally. I just know it won't. But trading out and then a goal coming will massively affect me mentally. So I just don't do it. And they're starting to attack now. We're getting attacks at both ends. So let's hope that one of them now can nip in with one, and we'll get massive reward for that, because there's so little time left. I'll go and have a look at the shots here. So at the moment, not a lot's happening on target. We're still just 3 for Adelaide, 5 for Sydney, but there's 9 each off target. But now we're getting down to the frantic part of the game. And it still appears to me, I don't know what you guys think, but it still appears to me like neither side has really settled for a draw. Well, Adelaide are playing a massive back 4 or 5 for a home game. They've got 2 up front there still. They've got 3 in the middle. So they're playing 5-3-2. I don't think that coach is very happy. He's a bit unhappy with that free kick to Sydney. All right, Denise, have a good day. I'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping in. You've almost made it to the end. We're going to finish up when this game finishes. Don't waste time arguing with the ref. It's more time to go and get my goal. Someone's turned up in the football trading room called Badger Divine. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe I've got a groupie. So Scott's done the same bet. He's got a big green on Sydney. So he's hoping Sydney get this late goal and he can exit. Let's see what they've got left in the tank. Not a lot by the looks of it. Now it's Adelaide's turn to have a crack. We just need one little stroke of brilliance here. Just one. All right, get it in. Oh, come on, son. That was perfect opportunity. Why would you not cross the ball there? This A-League's so frustrating. You can get like 8 goals in a game and then you just get stuff like this where they've now had an opportunity to put a beautiful cross into the box and they've almost gone back to the keeper. Now they've lost it. So the little instinct in me says we're not getting this goal now, but if it does come, it's certainly going to be decisive. This will probably be Adelaide's best chance. Oh, and he's missed it by a bee's dick. He's tried to slide that past Eddie Redmayne. Oh, not Eddie. I'll keep calling him Eddie. Eddie Redmayne's the actor, isn't it? And he's just gone to slide it past Redmayne. I don't know his first name now. And slides it past the post. And he's put that straight out over the sideline. It's a shocker. Seen a couple of great saves, though, from both keepers tonight. Bit of luck could have gone in. You just get your trader's gut instinct, don't you? And you just think, nah, we're not going to get it here. It'd be more luck than skill now that gets us the goal. It's just the way it goes sometimes. You look at the stats and you think, well, Adelaide have played 12 home games and haven't had a draw yet. And now we might be going to get one, although here's a chance. The one game that we get on Adelaide at home, no draws all season, and you get on. So I'm sure Nigel understands at the moment. He was going through a run like this a few weeks back. Didn't seem to matter what he did, and we all go through it. You get these runs where it doesn't matter. You back goals and there aren't any. You bet against goals and there's 4. You lay the draw and it's a draw. And you back the draw and there's a late goal. It's just, that's just the way it goes. So that's footy. So I'll have to find you a couple this afternoon to make up for this debacle, because this is going to end 1-1. That head injury is just about going to see us out. So as soon as they restart the game, Lafondra, there's only 10 seconds to go anyway. So as soon as it restarts, that will be that. But still, I stand by my decision. I know I'm much happier just having had that loss than trading out and then seeing a goal. So I'm going to go and check out the England price now and see where that is. It should be back up around even money, surely. England's got to be above evens now. They're still 187. It's still hanging in. It's 12.24. It's nearly lunch on day 2. I think England's got to be a lay. So I'm going to go and put a little... It is quite dark, but they're not really having much penetration here, England. They've still got to take 16 wickets in the match to win, and they've got a bat. So I think that's going to be that, folks. I think England's going to be, facing around 240 to 50. So if we have a look at that quickly, you see there was not many late on-shot targets. The second half, there was only a couple. Really disappointing. We go back to our query here. You can see 12 games there, no draws. And of course, the one that we get on, it's a draw. It's just unexplainable. It's just sod's law. That's what happens. And we move on. I'll make that up to you this afternoon. I'll find some games for us and get a couple of trades. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to end it there for this morning. I'm going to go and have some lunch, have a shower, get sorted out. I'll be back for racing at 2:30, so I hope you can join me for that one. We're going to be in with Webinar Club and the general population this afternoon, so it should be fun. We'll have a look at some of the stuff we've put into play today. I still can't find the Dragons on TV. It's still 16-10 in this game. Let's go and have a look what's happening on the Donkeys this afternoon. So 12:45, it all kicks off in 15 minutes in Ripon. So away you go. Go and get some practice in. But then you've got a race at 1 o'clock at Leopardstown, back at 1:15 at 1:30. So you've got a couple of meetings there. And then we've got Bath joining in. Then this evening, you've got a jumps meeting there at Stratford. So that should be fun. All right, so thanks for your company this morning. I hope you learnt something from the Lingfield races. Any money we lost on that football game will come back to you fivefold using the Lingfield strategy. So it's all about wins and losses, isn't it? As long as we end up with more wins than losses, we're going to have a very big year. So go and have some lunch, get freshened up, and I'll see you around 2:20 to 2:30 for the donkey racing, okay? Thanks, guys. Bye for now.